Ladies and gentlemen and graphic designers, we're going to do part 4 of our video slideshow. But before we get started, let's make sure that we're all on the same page. So here's what we should have so far. You should have a folder called Video Design. You should have a folder called Video Slideshow. You should have audio assets, picture assets, video assets. Inside your picture assets, you should have everything named 001, 002. By the way, if you've already added these to your project, you can't change the name after the fact. But at any rate, and then you should have your project right there. Okay, you should have that so far. And as far as the project goes, it should look a little bit something like this. If you hit play, you should have two things. You should have a motion effect, and you should have a transition. How do you add those? You add transitions, and then if you want to add video effects, you use these video effects right there. Okay, so let's see what we have. The slideshow has in store for us. All right, so we need songs and video. So we're going to use the YouTube downloaders. So to get the songs, we're going to use the YouTube to MP3 converters, and for the videos, to get the videos, we're going to get the YouTube downloader. So this is something you have on the computer. So you can open up the YouTube downloader. Also, you can search the internet for YouTube downloaders, and you could just do it online as well. And then what we have to do is we have to find a YouTube video. So for example, I like this nature YouTube video because it has a theme that matches the theme. So that's one thing you need, is that has to match the theme of your video slideshow. And so you're going to copy the URL, and you're going to paste the URL here, and then you're going to save it as a MP4. Okay, and then the idea though is you need to save it in your folder with your name on it. So you have to go to your folder with your name on it. You have to go to Creative Computers. You have to go to Video Slideshow, Video Design, Video Slideshow, and this one gets saved into the video assets. And you should probably give it a little bit of a smaller name than this, because this is way too long. So, but remember, we leave the file extension and name, and we're going to save that. Okay, so the first thing is you got to get the video and songs, and remember, you're also going to get the sounds, but don't add the song until you're done with everything. The song is always the last thing that we're going to add to our project. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add that thing to add that video. So I'm going to go right here where I want it to go. So right there is where I want to add it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add files. I'm going to add I'm going to choose to add wildlife. So that's the one I'm going to add, not the nature one I just got. So I'm going to hit open, and it's going to take some time and add that. And this thing popped up. Do I want it at the very end, or do I want it at the cursor position? Well, I put the cursor where I wanted it, so I'm going to choose at the cursor position, and it's going to put it there. Okay, so you can see that it added, right here, it added the video here, and you can see that on the audio track here, it added the sound that goes along with the video. And let's kind of back up just a little bit. So if I hit play, you can see that it goes right in from my slideshow into the video, which is good. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a title slide and a works cited at the end. Okay, and so for my title slide, you can do it different ways. You can add a blank slide at the beginning, and just have a title over a blank slide. I decided I'm going to use this picture. Okay, and so I'm going to select that picture. Okay, so I clicked on this to select it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a text effect. And so there's all different versions of what you can do, but I'm going to do a simple text overlay. And then this screen pops up, and so what we're going to do is we want to edit the text. And so because it's white text on a white background, we can't see it. So let's change the text color to where we can see it. Okay, so now we messed it up again. Let's change the color back to black. Click OK. Okay, so now I'm going to type in a nice title like nature. Okay, and I can change the size. I can choose scrolling or no scrolling. For me, I'm going to say no scrolling, and I'm going to close it, and it didn't quite get it where I wanted it. Oh, it put it right at the beginning here. So I need to scoochie that over. There we go. It's working really slow. I need to try to scoochie this all the way over. Okay, so let's see. No, it didn't do it. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. So my beginning slide, you can see that it says nature, and that color is probably not the best color. I should have probably chosen white instead, but I wanted to. But anyway, you can see it's there, so I would mess around with it. So if I want to, I can go to edit text, and I can select it and say, you know what, that would have looked a lot nicer if I would have done like a bright green, so it stands out, and then I can close it, and now you can see what it would look like if it was. Oh, that actually does stand out a little bit better. So we have nature. Okay, so now the next thing that we're going to need at the very end is we're going to need our works cited page, because part of the learning was to learn about copyright and so on and so forth. So if you look at this, you can see I added. So the first thing I did is I added an object. I added a blank background clip. So I added just that green clip, and then I did the same thing. I clicked on it. I added the text effects, and on this particular one, I added all the works cited information from the song that I'm going to use, and also all the pictures. And I chose for this one to scroll from the top to the bottom to have that effect. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. So adding the title slide and the works titled slide, we got that already. And all right, next time we're ready to add some music. So I think that's it for today.